Right. How's everyone going? Has anyone managed to have a look at the triad shapes or put it into practice maybe, or is it something you're not looked at? Michael,
No.
staring at the ground.
Bad student,
Ask me.
I'm afraid.
Do you know
Me
what?
as well. I'm a bad
Yeah.
student.
Yeah, at least this makes more than just me.
You're
Yeah.
not a bad student because you're not like a young child who has nothing but to practice this stuff. We all have
Well,
life and
yeah.
that you know, Rick, apart from Rich who wakes up at 4 o'clock every morning to practice.
Makes us look bad.
5 o'clock, yeah. I was trying to big you up more then, Rich. You know, add an extra hour onto your practice regime. Yeah.
It's so tough though, isn't it? I mean, I honestly, I practice like mad,
Like a
and,
dog.
like a dog. And some days I just think I'm bashing my head against a brick wall. Like I do.
But the thing is, people even at the top of the game feel like what you've just said. So that never ends, but you just always got to bear in mind the level you are compared to previous. That's, there's always things that wreck your head in guitar.
We can see Dave.
Yeah, I do often. Like I went round to my mates not long back, and he was talking me through what to solo over different chords, and my head was like going to explode when I walked out. I thought he's just bamboozled me with all this stuff. But what he was doing was amazing. But it was on such another level to what I've even looked at.
You're joking, aren't you?
No, he's
I thought
just.
you was the Messiah.
No, I'm not. I never. No, I'm not the Messiah.
Bloody hell.
It's even he's probably not the Messiah. He looks up to other people in admiration, and he even says he's got so much to work on. Do you know what I mean? That just never ends. I think the moment you feel content and you're like, I've mastered this and I'm the best. I think that's like delusion. And you see that with young college students who think they're awesome and the best, and it's just a bit of delusion until you wake up.
Well, their fingers are made of rubber, and ours have all got arthritis in them.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah.
Who's this Arthur Writers keep?
It's Arthur. I want to meet this guy.
Oh yeah, who's Arthur?
He's always causing all trouble in our fingers. Right, anyway, so we're going to crack on with... we mentioned about implementing these triads into a bit of improvisation with pentatonics. And I feel the best way to go about it is to... Actually, I'll just get the thing on the board. Looks more official this way. Any questions at any point, just say. So what we're going to do today is we're going to embellish the triad shape. So do you know how we embellished open chords? We did sus2, sus4s and that. That is basically what we're going to do with the triads. And you'll probably already, when I show you the shapes and the embellishments, you'll probably have a sort of guess of, you know, you've done this before with the susses, but it's just moving it up the fretboard. Okay, and then I wanted to mix the pentatonic scale with the triad shapes. So it's putting it into real practice, really. Okay, let's learn how to embellish the triad shapes. And we're going to look at the triads that will match the key of C. So we've got our 4 triad shapes in the key of C. Okay. All right. So here we have the C chord, but it's like your A shape. Okay. So this C chord comes from the A shape. If I was to show it you like this, as me playing it, you would see it like that, either like that. So you can see the A shape, not an A minor shape, Michael. You were on this minor shape, like that. Or you could bar it like that. Usually people bar it, but you can see that's an A shape. Okay, so that's where the first shape comes from, and we're going to play this part of it here. So hopefully that's a bit of a recap of how you know this shape comes from that A shape there. You can see the rest of the chord there. Okay. And then the next triad we're going to look at is, can anyone tell me the next shape along? If this is A, what do you think it is? You could just say it, I could lip read you. What's the next? G, that's it, yeah. I think Brian and Rich said that, maybe Les said it as well. So there, you can see the G. And you can see these two clusters of green notes here. You can see how they share when I go back. You can see they share them two notes. So that's a G shape. You can see that's G starts on the C note, so it's actually a C chord, but with the G shape. But we're going to be playing this part of it here, just the top end of it. So you're going to bar the fifth, move up a fret there, Brian, on the fifth fret. Yeah, eagle eyes, David McNamara. That's it, Rich. Yeah. So we've got this shape first. We've got that A shape. So, and then we have the G shape. That's why I know people don't get a chance to practice much, so that's why I'm just taking it at a slower pace, this, rather than bombarding you with lots of new stuff. Like, it's a bit of a recap. So the next shape, C-A-G, is going to be E. So you can see this one here, where your little finger was, is going to be the start of the E shape there. You can see in orange, that's the triad we're going to play. But you can see it comes on that E shape bar chord there. Yeah, and that's the part we're going to play. Okay, so far, we've got three shapes so far, which is the A shape in blue, then the green, the G shape, and then the E shape. And you can see how they're all tied together, like these share that note. These share them two notes. Just have a play through them three shapes. Once we've established the four shapes, we can do the embellishments, and then we'll mix the pentatonic scale with it. Okay, so the last shape, I will have a little listen to this, is the D shape. So you can see it's the same as the C shape. So you can see that's open there, pretty much like a C chord if you played a C chord, but we're just playing the top end of it there. And you can see it's the same on the 12th fret there. You can play that D shape on that 12th fret there, up there. Okay, so here's all the five shapes there. And if you notice, I have done the octave of that D shape, D/C shape. So you go, oh yeah, yeah. Okay. All right. So we'll have, even if you've not mastered this, we'll have time to look at each shape in a bit more detail. Okay, so the fun part really is that rather than just playing the shapes, let's learn how to embellish each shape. Okay, so we're going to look at the first shape here. So it's the C chord that comes from the A shape. That's the first one we looked at. Now, can you see what fingers I've put on there? So to embellish it, it might be easier, I think, to use your first, second and third. So you've got your little finger to use. And the first embellishment, actually I'm going to show you the couple of embellishments I've got here. So if I'm on that shape, instead of just doing this, you got this. So you can see I'm using sort of embellishments there to make that static sort of triad a bit more interesting. So the first embellishment is your first finger's going to be barring them first two strings, and then you're just going to take your third finger off. So yeah, if you want to switch to your third finger at that point, but I would get used to playing the shape rather than like that. See, that's what we learned. Rather than that, just bring that first finger up there just to bar there. So so use your second and third finger for them 2 notes. That's it. It forces your hand in a different position, and then your bar. So then you got the option then to just take off your 3rd finger slightly, and that 1st finger is going to be covering that 2nd string, and you can use that as an embellishment. So you could go. So you can just move your 3rd finger off and play that. Okay. So I'm keeping my 2nd finger on there. See what I'm doing? I'm just lifting my 3rd finger on and off. So. It might hurt your finger after holding that position for a little bit. But let's go back to the original shape there, and I'm going to show you one more embellishment with that. So enough to help you get around it and add some flavour to it. So see, I'm putting my little finger on there. So you got that? Now, for the people who are a bit more adventurous, your little finger could actually stretch to the next note up in the scale there on that 7th fret. If not, don't worry about that. You can get that in the next shape across, but sometimes I do stretch over into the next position. Basically, all that's happening is you're playing these triad shapes with the C major scale around it. Okay, so you've got the standard one there, and if you bar it, you can use that note on the 2nd string. If you put your little finger on there, and then you can stretch your little finger on there. So I tell you what, Michael, unmute. I'm just gonna listen to you muck about with some of them notes. Just have a little jam to yourself. Bar them. That's it then.
That's a struggle for me, that was.
So you wanna, yeah. That's it. Good. I would as well just try it just a bit like just gentler and slow down, and give yourself time to just hear the notes a bit more.
Yeah. Yes.
You're doing good. You're doing good. Your fingers will stretch there, you know.
It's a bit of a painful one, that, to be honest.
It is. But I've come across chords like that and really practiced them, and I can hold them positions after a while once you build up the muscles.
Yeah.
Rich, if you need to get one of them things. Rich has got the little hand sort of strengthener. Go on, Rich. Just have a muck about with them. Let's have a listen. So you want to be barring them first 2. That's it. That's the note. Don't forget the 5th fret on the 1st string. 5th fret on the 1st string.
Yeah.
This one here. That one. See there? This one, Rich.
Oh, yes.
So now it's nice because you're playing around the notes of the triad now. How's that feel?
Yeah, it's difficult at first, but now it's starting to.
You're doing it though.
Yeah.
We've only had 5 minutes on it, so
yeah,
it's early days.
I'm digging it.
You're digging it already. Oh, go on, Les. You got to make sure your 2nd and 3rd finger are. There's a fret gap in.
Yeah, it's the stretch from.
I mean, you could use, if you've got a problem with your stretching, Just use your third and fourth finger there. So you're only strumming the 3 strings, the first 3 strings.
Yeah, so you've effectively got those 3 in the same.
In a line. Yeah, you could do that. Yeah. I mean, that's going to be in the next shape, really, exactly what you're playing there. All right. Peter and Brian, I'm going to listen to you on the next shape. I can see your hands, though, and I can see you look like you're in the right place. Okay, so let's go to the G shape now. So it's the next one across. You can see sharing them 2 notes from the previous shape. See there, the 2 and 3. So you just bar in the 5th fret though. You got to move up 2 frets, Brian. That's it. It's all right. I can see everyone's hands, so it's quite nice. Okay, so that's your 4th finger. So that's playing that high note. So the note you could play there is just a fret down, that 3rd, or you could use your little finger if it feels more comfortable, just moving it across. I do that quite a lot. And then you could just take your finger off and just bar all of them. So you got 3 different sort of notes you can use there to embellish that shape. You might want to pick through it rather than strum. Brian, do you want to unmute? Just have a little mess about with these. That's nice, Les, yeah? That's nice. Yeah, you were unmuted by accident, though. So pick through the notes, Brian. Just pick through them. So. So if you think about it, really, just from that shape, rather than just playing that shape, you've got some more options to make that a bit more interesting. There you go. So that's what you would do with that G shape.
Right.
There is more things you could do, but I'm just keeping it simple for now.
That's interesting also because it's part of the A minor pentatonic, isn't it?
Well, what's the relative minor of C?
A minor.
Exactly.
Correct. Yes.
So they are the same thing. So you are noticing that it is A minor as well.
Rich,
So
you're blowing my mind with this, I tell you.
Everything we're doing here.
I would never have got that one.
Yeah. But that's good because everything we've done in the past will be creeping back at you at some point, and you're like, "Oh right, I understand it now." So it's good that Rich actually noticed that.
Yeah, yeah.
Because remember, your major and your relative minor. So if you're in the key of A minor, all these things would work. If you're in the key of C, all these things would work. They're the same note.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, nice one, Peter. Let's have a little ganders. It sounds like a song, that.
Huh?
I forget what the song is. It's pretty similar to a song that I like. I can't remember what it's called though.
What, that?
Yeah. Oh, it's like an old TV show.
Is it?
Like a murder mystery TV show from the 80s. He's gonna come into my head that.
I find that shape.
I bet it's that shape.
No, it's not Murder She Wrote. No.
Is that Angela Lansbury?
No, it had like a red theme to it on the opening.
You heard the term earworm, Dave?
Earworm.
Yeah, you get a note fixed in, or a bit of a tune fixed in your brain.
Yeah. I'm gonna get that, and I'm gonna email you all in like 3 days' time when it clicks. All right, so let's look at the E shape here. So this one, I'm just gonna scroll it down there. That's the 8th fret there. So what I'm doing here is I'm barring this. I know a lot of you use your first 2 fingers on that, but I'm just barring that. and the 2 there, because a lot of people actually use this, especially in blues, but then you can just, once you got that shape, you can put your 3rd finger there on that 1st string. So Rich, yeah, that's it. So you can see here I'm just going 1 3 on that 1st string with the shape, and then you can 1 3 on the 2nd string, and then you can 2 3 on that 3rd string. So you can see I've got my little shape there, and I'm using that 3rd finger just to play these notes here on every string. So okay. So one thing you can do is you could actually press your 3rd and 4th finger on and do two notes together. That sort of double note thing works. And you can actually do it there as well, your 3rd and 4th finger on the 2nd and 3rd string. So if you watch me, I've got that shape, and I'm gonna put them 2 fingers on the 1st and 2nd string, and then I'm gonna put them on the 2nd and 3rd string. There's so much you can do just with that one triad, making nice lines and making it interesting. And that's just one little triad. Once you can move around these in time, it might take, God, it could take a year for you to be able to do this confidently. Do you know what I mean? You'll start to recognise it in the songs and riffs you've done. You'll start to see that these shapes represent lots of famous songs you've done. Okay, so the next shape up, the last shape we're going to do is on the, I've just moved the fretboard up, that's on the 12th fret, that little D shape. So you can see I'm using my 1st, 2nd and 3rd. So how would you do the sus to that? Does anyone know? Yeah, that's it. I can see you putting your little finger on for that sus4, and that's exactly what you would do there. And what you can do is, if you feel confident, you can reach your 4th finger up to that 15th fret. See what I'm doing there? I'm just I'm doing the D, and the sus4, my little finger goes underneath that 3rd. Treating it like I would do a D, and then I'm moving this one up 2 frets. Now there's another one, the sus2. Do you remember you would just take that 2nd finger off, but you can't really do this here because you're not down here in an open D chord. So you just have to adjust your fingers a little bit with this. So you got your normal D, see here. The sus2 would be down here. That represents your 0, do you know, when you're on a D position. So your 1st finger would have to, I'll show you how that would move if you see my hands. There's the D, here's the sus2 there, see that? My 3rd finger stays the same. I'll put that back on. And what happens is your 2nd finger moves from this 1st string here, and it just moves up, giving way for your 1st finger to move back to that note. So I will listen to you do that. So if I was to mess around with them chords, I go to the sus2, See there? So there's quite a lot you can do with that one little shape. Michael, do you want to unmute? So let's hear you go around the D shapes.
Oh.
Then the sus4. Oh, that's nice. And then the sus4 one, which is the little finger underneath. That's it, yeah. Excellent, yeah, nice. Moving around it really confidently. That you did that one really well. The that sus2 sort of shape.
That's not as painful on my hand as that one.
Have you got an electric guitar?
I have, yeah. I just don't use it very often. But
Honest, if you've got an electric guitar, rack it up because you won't hurt your hand as much. I'm telling you.
yeah.
Yeah. But nice, you know, you're doing it, man. You're probably just working muscles and stretching things that you've never stretched before.
Yeah.
So that's all it is. A week or two of doing this, you won't even think about stretching. You'll have built up the muscles. I think with small muscles, you can build them up pretty quicker than bigger muscles. So you'd be surprised. Rich. Yeah. So D. The D sus4. Stretch up to the. Yeah, lovely. That's it. So stay on that D, the standard D. Just play a normal D. Right, now what I want you to do is take off your first two fingers. Both of them. Move your second finger to the third string. No, don't take off your third finger.
Yeah.
Start again. Do a D chord. Take off your first two fingers. Move your second finger up to the third. That's it. And your first finger to that down. There you go. Your third finger doesn't have to move. Because you're shifting all your fingers, but you don't need to. See there, that's more fluent. That's it, nice. Go on, Les, unmute. Nice one, Rich, yeah. Just a little technical thing there.
You? I'm still here, man.
12th fret. Are you actually doing a D shape or a D minor shape?
I was doing a D shape. I do it like that, but the.
All right, okay, that's fine, yeah. That's good, yeah.
And then bring that finger in.
Yeah, for the sus. And then move it along, stretch it across to there if you can. Yeah, so you'll be able to get to that easier the way you're playing it.
Yeah.
And so the sus2
and
one.
This is the difficult.
I mean, you don't really have to do this because you can reach that note with the previous, with the E shape. It's just an added Brucey bonus, really. Yeah, nice. You're doing well. That's great. Go on, Brian. Lovely. That's it. You're on it. There you go. Moving through the triad quite nicely there. Imagine when you got the confidence to blast through all them triads with that.
Yeah, that's the thing. I've just got to think about it too much. By the time you've thought about it, you've lost it.
What I'll do is, probably in a few sessions' time, I'll just make up a little 5-minute regime you can do to put
Practice
this in your head.
moving from,
I'll give like an exercise you could just do.
I think you need
moving in between them, like. I'll come up with a little riff which incorporates every embellishment.
That's a good idea. I think that
I will do that for this week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go on, Peter. Yeah.
Oops. Right, now that's wrong. That's better. Yeah.
Did you get that one there? The little bit that stretched
Doesn't
the
come
other
easy.
way. That's it. Nice one, yeah.
That's it.
Okay, so what I want to try and do now is everything we've done there, I want to link it with a bit of improvising. So we're going to be, we'll go over the pentatonic scale. So it'd be something like this. See what I'm doing? I'm going through the pentatonic scale there, and then I went to that E shape. And as in implementing the triad with the little embellishments. So you can see, it does make it, rather than just sticking to one note, it does make it nice putting that triad there. And using that as an improvisation tool. Okay, so let's, how does that sound? Does that sound like something you want to piece together? Okay, so let's, we're going to have a look at the C major pentatonic scale, first position. I'm sure everybody at some point has done this. It might have been a while since you've done it. So you can see here, we have this. It's on its side. Now normally you might start on the 5th fret here, but that's a minor scale. So you're going to start with your little finger, and that's on the 8th fret. I'm going to start it here. So your little finger, I'm going to cut it off and I'll do one string at a time. So your little finger there on the 8th fret, and then on the next string down you're going to go 1st and 3rd finger. So it's, so yeah, and then the next string down it's 1st and 3rd. The next string down it's your 1st and 3rd, so that all them 1st and 3rds are on the 5th and 7th fret. Anything with the 4 fingers on the 8th fret. So you got, and on the last 2 strings you're going to go 1 and 4, 1 and 4. And you see how I'm resolving it on the little finger, because it's a C major pentatonic. When you play this shape in C, the resolve is on the little finger, not the 1st finger. Okay, that's the difference between your major and your minor. If I was to play the same scale as a minor, I'd go, I'd end with my 1st finger. It'd be an A minor blues pentatonic. If I was to end there with my little finger, it sounds like a C major. Yeah, so just to recap, we will go over major and minors at some point. Okay, so just work on that. So what we're going to do is we're just going to play the higher notes of the scale. We're going to just keep it simple. We're going to play these notes here. Okay, unless you're confident with the whole scale and you think, right, I know that, you know, fair enough. But if this is kind of new to you, I want you to start on the 3rd string and just go 5th and 7th fret, and then 5th and 8th fret, 5th and 8th fret. So the fingers you're going to use are your 1st and 3rd, then your 1st and 4th, 1st and 4th. So it's, I'm going to give you some little backing music now, and I want you to just play through them notes and just make some little phrases, like play a few notes and stop, and then play a few more and stop. So you're making it a bit more musical. Are you ready? I'm gonna play this now. You ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. So have some stops in there. One more time through that, just get used to improvising. Whoops. Too busy watching you lot. Okay, so you're getting used to the scale. Okay, I know a lot of you, some of you do that quite a lot. So play with the single notes for a little bit, then jump to the E shape. Okay, so we're going to jump to the, let's just recap where the E shape is. So it's on the 8th fret there. I'm just going to zoom in on it. 8th fret, you're going to bar it, and the additional notes are there. Do you remember the using your 3rd finger? Do you remember that shape we did? So looking at the scale and that shape together would look like this. So can you see that? You've got your little scale which is in white, your pentatonic scale, starts on the 5th fret, and then you've got this addition. So I'm going to show you in very slow-mo what you've got. You've got this pentatonic scale, that little pentatonic scale there, and then I'm going to bring my 1st finger up to bar that 8 there and make that E shape, and just muck around with that. So keep your 2nd finger planted on that E shape. You're just moving your 3rd finger about, and you're going to let some of the notes ring out over each other. Okay, so let's go back to that. We're going to just have a little play around with this. So we're only focusing on one of the shapes for now, one of the triad shapes and its little extensions. So I want you to play around with the scale, so your little pentatonic scale, and then jump into the triads. You ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. So a bit of pentatonic playing, and when you're ready, just go into the little triad, so barring the 8th fret. Back into the pentatonic a little bit, and then back into the triad when you can. Back into the pentatonic when you can. Pentatonic. And then back into the little triad shape. So you're just jumping back and forward. Okay. How feedback on that? Was that new to anyone, or?
One of the things that I did notice, that the first position, that is the 2nd position, the triad is the 2nd position.
Virtually, yeah.
It's there.
It is. Yeah. That's it. But it's making you play it in a way where you can play multiple notes as well.
Yep.
And you'll notice some other things the further we go down with the triads, exactly what you've just said.
Brilliant, because obviously, yeah, the learning all the scales and running up and down the scales, after a while gets a little bit tedious, and then you need to obviously expand that, and this is the perfect first step, isn't it?
And I think it is never ending, the amount of things you can do. That's the constant learning. You know, this is just one thing you can do. So yeah, nice. I tell you what, Rich, do you want to just give us a little, I'll do some backing chords. It might be a bit out of sync, but I think we'll get a gist of what you're doing. So if you just want to keep in your pentatonic scale. And then jump to your triad. Yeah, lovely. Yeah, you're going between that, really nice. Great stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, let's just move on to another. Okay, so that was the one we just done. So we're going to do the same, but for the G shape. So I don't know if you remember this here, where you barred on the 5th fret and you put your little finger there. That's your, you can almost see the pentatonic shape around that, can't you? But just to have a recap on the like little additional notes we had here. Do you remember using your, so Rich, if you bar that 1st fret there, get your little finger on there, and don't forget you can use your 3rd, or you can just move your 4th finger down to that. So the red notes are the additional notes. So putting the pentatonic on top of that, it is virtually like the pentatonic, but you've got this one note here, there, added. And you can also like strum these notes or pick these notes with them while they're ringing out. So this is what we're going to have a little go at now. So I'm going to give you some backing chords. So do a little bit of pentatonic in on the... And then... through the triad, and then back to the... Then back into the scale. Okay, so let's just I'll give you some backing chords. So starting with the pentatonic shape, and then into the sort of bar in the 5th string and going into the G, and then stretching your little finger over to that, and back into the pentatonic shape. So you're going back and forward all the time. So I want you to move back and forward when you feel you've done enough, like. Back into the pentatonic. Okay, well, Brian, I'll do what we did with Rich, and I'll just play, and you just, we can,
Yeah.
It might be a bit out of sync, but we'll get the gist of what you're doing. So you ready?
Yeah.
Bit of pentatonic.
Car.
Into the triad. Lovely. Excellent, yeah. Yeah, you're mixing it up. Nice one. You can sort of see the triad shape in that scale.
That was a bit more straightforward than the previous one because it was all together there, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. But nice one, yeah, you're doing exactly what the task sort of entails. But yeah, great work. I think we'll do all sort of another exercise with this in the near future where we're doing it all as A minor. So you can hear that all these work with the minor keys
Right.
as well. But Michael, do you want to unmute? We'll just do the same. 1, 2, 3, 4. Into the triad. Back into the pentatonic. Okay, good. And when you feel confident, just move into that first one, that E-shaped one. And then, you know, you can move to both of them triads.
It's really good because you spend so long practicing scales, and then this just feels like a next level. It just feels so much more interesting.
Because it's forcing you really to do some leaps in your playing. Because normally when you do improvising, when you're learning, you always go to the next note above or the next note below. It's just what you do. You treat it like a scale.
Yeah.
Where this is forcing you to leap about. And you'll notice when you leap, that's where the melody appears. You don't get someone writing a song and they're just singing up and down a scale. You know, it's very boring, really, after a while.
That's what I was going to add. That if you had a little ditty that you could put words to this. It's the beginnings of a great song, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. You've got a nice melody.
Yeah.
If you notice, the most like biggest icon songs, a lot of them have big leaps. Do you know, in the melody, they'll sing something and they'll jump really high, and that's just what catches people's ears. That's melody. That's being melodic.
Yeah.
So it's forcing you in a way to be a bit more melodic. So yeah, nice one. Okay, I will listen to Pete and Les on the next shape. So we done 2 shapes there. Let's have a look at the C shape here. So, oh, sorry, the A shape. Sorry, it's the A shape, but it's just, every one of them is a C chord, but this is the A shape. And the little additional notes there were barring that first finger there, and then putting your little finger below it. You could play them as single notes as well. Like Rich said, that's the that'd be your 5th position, Rich. If you want to look at it like that, you know your positions. This would be from the 5th position, like just before your 1st. Okay, so putting the pentatonic over it there, you can see how then the pentatonic scale, that 1st position pentatonic scale, marries up with that. So you want to be pentatonic improvising, and then go to that. Yeah, it's good because it gets you to ring some notes over each other as well using these triads. Okay, let's have a listen to Peter. Do you want to... I'll give you some chords. So just start with your little pentatonic. Keep it nice and simple. Little pentatonic improvising. And then go to the A shape one. It's alright, take your time, get there. Back into your pentatonic shape. That's probably the hardest shape out the 3 we've done now. So,
especially with fat fingers.
Oh, you know, don't be silly. Never blame your fingers. You know, I've taught people with tiny fingers, big hands. It's just they're all good. They're all bad in their own ways. You know, the fingers. Yep. You could get a jumbo-sized guitar if you want, jumbo frets. If you ever feel that's the problem.
Maybe.
Go on, Les. So you want to just stick to a bit of pentatonic. Oh yeah, you could start with your shape if you want. Yeah, get them. That's it. Yeah, nice on there. Just on them first 3 strings. See the blue.
Yeah, that's a bit of a stretch.
Yeah, well, you just adapt your fingers to what's comfortable for you. But yeah, you go. I think this is the hardest, probably the hardest one. We got time just to look at the D shape one. So looking at the 12th fret, let's play it on the 12th fret. You got that D shape. and you got that sus4 and that stretch over to the little one. So we're going to just start with the pentatonic. You're going to jam around the pentatonic, then you're going to go up to that 12th fret with the D there. Up to the D. So you just go into that D on that 12th fret and you just do your little sus and... Okay. So let's, I'll give you some chords. So your little pentatonic here, that's on the 5th fret, that. It's just a bit further up the fretboard. Ready? So start off with a little bit of pentatonic, and when you're confident, move up to the D shape on the 12th fret. Okay. So I think the thing is, I'm going to make up a little melody, like a little exercise that takes you through all these. Let's get them shapes all together. Which one was it? There was a chart here that had them all together. This one. That's going to take you through all them with the embellishments. I'll make up a little song, and then you can use that as your exercise. So it might go something like this. And I'll make that a little song, and that is taking you through every shape, how it connects, and every embellishment. So if you played that for like a few weeks or even a month every now and then, it'll show you how all the shapes connect with the embellishments, starting to connect all the dots together. But so that's, I don't really want to go any further than that. Like tonight, I think that's enough information. Yeah. Les is like, please let this onslaught end. But yeah, we'll just do a bit of feedback. Any questions you want to know? Rich, how have you found tonight?
A great step forward in soloing and stuff, and creating your own beautiful little piece of music. I.e., that I love the D shape second position. You can move between the two, slide up, and then you've got the G. It's just blown my mind. Blown my mind. You wait and see. Jimi Hendrix will have nothing on me next week.
Are you on about the guy who's in his coffin now, or
Yeah.
His ghost is still wandering around here, you know.
Yeah. Oh, it's good. It's nice. I can see the dots connecting. You know, you put so much work into them.
It's another one of those little dot to dot, and it's just connecting up. Bit of puzzle. I'm loving it.
It's making you see the shapes by looking at it as a triad. You're seeing them pentatonic shapes, them scales. Yeah, nice one. Brian, any questions or?
Yeah, it's really good, Dave. I think the more you look at it, it feels like you're getting somewhere. I mean, from last week, or that 2 weeks ago, to this week, with a bit of work in between, and even from the beginning to the end of the lesson today, it felt more comfortable.
Yeah.
I wish I spent more time on my scales earlier.
Yeah, but you know what? Sometimes you need to be put in a situation and you're like, actually, if I knew my scales, I would have done that better. So you might just put a little bit more time.
Into that.
Even if it's once or twice a week, you do 5 minutes on it, you know. But it's good. It's good. Excellent. Yeah, Michael, how have you found tonight?
Yeah, really good. Yeah, just like I said earlier, I think it just makes it so much more interesting, because I've done, when I first started, the pentatonic was the sort of first scale that I really learned, and the different positions. So to be able to sort of like add to that and
Yeah.
you just feel like all of a sudden you can sort of almost feel like you're writing your own song in a way.
Yeah.
Um,
And you listen. That's how you can hear like a lot of riffs. How they
Yeah.
write. A lot of bands write the riffs. They incorporate them triads quite a lot.
Yeah.
Especially the Arctic Monkeys. It's like all their riffs are that in that style, ain't they?
Yeah, but no, I absolutely loved it.
Yeah, lovely. Yeah, Les.
Well, as you know, I'm probably I teach scuba diving. I'm a scuba diving instructor, and when I say to my students, I'm now going to take your regulator out of your mouth at 6 foot underneath the water, as the regulator comes out, the eyes come out of the sockets and touch the glass almost. That's how I feel.
Does that actually happen? That like your eyes bulge out of you?
Oh yeah, they become very wide, and it's sort of. I mean, there's not.
Like shocking.
Huh?
It's like shocking to the headline.
It is. It is. It's panic to a degree, but it's controlled panic.
And that's how you feel.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, excellent. I never had that sort of feedback before, but
Oh well, there you go. I'm always
anything
something
goes.
original.
Yeah. Peter, do you want to unmute a sec? Any like moments?
Yeah, it was really interesting that. It just highlights to me how much practice I need to do. I feel a bit left behind, really.
No, honest, you don't.
Honestly,
I think everyone feels that, but I think you got
Absolutely.
you've got to embrace that fact that you're all sort of. This is new to you. It's brand new. You know what I mean? If I taught you this and you knew it all, there'd be no point in you being here. So you didn't underachieve more than anyone else in the group. Do you know what I mean? So you just got to embrace.
I'm not sure about that.
I don't think you did. I was watching everything you were doing. But like we'll just keep working on it till it's like Brian said last time we did it. It was like a bit of an alien thing, and this time it was a bit more familiar. Do you know what I mean? So the more we do it, the more familiar it gets.
Yeah. I think I need to go back 2 weeks to the first time we started doing triads and work forward again.
Yeah. Well, all you do if you click on your emails and you type in theory. You should have every email from all the theories that I've done.
Oh yeah, don't worry. I save everything. Don't worry.
Oh dear, good. Because the thing about the theory links, they're unlisted, so you can only get them through your email I send you. So it's not public. So if you go on my site, you'll have no chance finding them. So
yeah, don't worry. I
log
everything,
and you just save each. Link.
I save every attachment, don't worry.
That's good. Wicked nice. All right, gentlemen, I've got a session in like 1 minute. So better
Thanks,
go.
guys.
Thanks a lot. Great session.
Cheers, everybody.
See you,
See you, guys.
See you next time.
Some of you.
See you later. Bye-bye.
Cheers.
Bye.